Okay, so we've got our level select set up here, but one problem at the moment is that we just have 3 stars above each button. We wanted to make it so that whatever star result we get in our scene will allow us to show that in the actual level select. Now, at the moment, we're not storing the stars we earn or anything like that. We've no way of doing that just yet, but that's what we're going to do right here. And to do that, we're going to use what's called the player prefs system. So player prefs is a way of storing very simple information. You can store string information, you can store int values, you can store float values, and that's pretty much it. So if you want to create a complicated save system, you will want to use your own custom thing. But to do the nice simple thing we want to do of saying whether we've earned stars on an individual level, it's really handy to use. So first thing I'm going to do is, back in our level select button, I'm going to make sure that as soon as we start, we hide all the stars we currently have. So we'll say star dot set active false. So we're, oops, I paged down there by accident. So we're saying that our star is deactivated as soon as it loads, because we don't want to see 3 stars when we haven't earned any stars. So let's say star 1, star 2, and star 3. So that's perfectly fine. But then we need to determine after that whether we should actually show any stars that we've earned. So let's save this. And how are we determining what stars are earned? Well, back in our round manager, we know that in here we're saying, hey, you earned however many stars. So what we're going to do is, in the result for getting 3 stars here, we're going to use the player pref system, like I said. So we're going to say player prefs, and we're going to set an int value, and then we need to tell it the name of a value we want to set. So the name we're going to use is whatever the name is of our current scene that we're in. So how we can get the name of the current scene, so the name of this scene, say we're in level 1, the name of the scene will be L1. So the name, to get the name, we say scene manager. Oh, sorry, I don't have a scene manager option here, so I need to include using Unity Engine dot scene management, and then we can scroll back down to where we're setting the int, and we're going to say scene manager dot get active scene, which will get us the scene file that loads the scene, and then we say get active scene dot name. So get the name of the scene we're currently looking at, and then we're going to add on to that. So we're going to say plus, and then quotation marks, underscore star 1, and then comma, and then we need, so that's the name of the value we want to set, and then we have to set an int value that we're going to store in here. So I'm going to set this to be 1, because generally speaking, you can use when you want to store, and when you want to store whether something is true or false, you can say, let's just say 0 is false and 1 is true. That's a very standard way of doing things. So we're just going to say, hey, it's 1 is true, we've got a star. So we're saying here star 1, we have earned star 1 because we've earned 3 stars. So we're going to then copy this to say we've got star 2 and we've also got star 3. So if we've got 3 stars, we've got star 1, star 2, and star 3. Then similarly, we're going to copy just the first 2 lines here, and I'm going to paste them in for when we get 2 stars. So here we've got, let's just space these out a little bit more. We've earned 2 stars, so we got star 1 and star 2. And then below that, we're going to say, if you earned 1 star, now you got star 1. So with that done, what we can then do is go back to our level select button, and in here we can do a check for each star and see if we have earned it, and then activate the star here. So all we have to do for that is see if in the player prefs it has key. So has key basically is saying, do you have a certain name in here? And the name we want to check is whatever the level we're going to load to. So if we want to load to L1, then we want to check the L1 star. So here we're going to say check the level to load plus underscore star 1. So we want to make sure that this little bit here is spelled and capitalized the exact same as it is in our round manager over here. So we need to make sure this is the exact same. And basically this just checks to see if that key exists at all. And if it does exist, well, that means that our player has to have earned that star, because the star is only, this is only saved into the player prefs as soon as we've earned that star at some point. So we don't even need to check if the value is 0 or 1. We can just say, hey, does the key even exist? Now, we still had to set a value into it. We couldn't just add an empty thing in here. So that's why we still went with the 1. We're not going to change that. But we don't actually care what that number is. But it's, as I said before, it's just handy to kind of set it to be 1 if it should be a true thing. So then, now that we know we've got the star, well then we could say here, star1.setActive, and in brackets, true. So we want that one to be activated. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it in twice down here, and I'm going to say if it's star2 and star3, whoops. Let's try this again. Star2, there we go, and star3. Okay, so now we're able to display those stars in our game. So let's just save this, and now let's go back in here. So what I'm going to do is, we should test it and see, obviously, that if I turn off maximize here, when we play, there we go, all our stars are gone. If I go into level 1 here, oh, by default it's setting my score to 1001. I forgot we set that up before. Let's set it to, I only want to get 1 star, so I'm going to set it to be 101. And let's put our time down to 1 second. There we go. Okay, we earned 1 star. So if we don't have a way to get back out to the level select just yet. We will set that up in a few moments. But if I stop this and play it again, now we've got our 1 star. So we've saved that on our system, and we're able to say, yeah, we earned our stars in that level. So let's go to level 2 and do the same thing. Let's go to our round manager. I'm going to reset this back to being 0 in a moment. But for now, let's say we got 2 stars. And again, we'll put it down to 1 second remaining. And when it gets to it, there we go. We earned our 2 stars. If I stop and play it again, there we go. We got our 2 stars in our level. So perfect. Now we have a way of showing which stars we've earned in each level in the game. And just before I do anything else too wrong here, let's go ahead and go to our scenes, level select, no, not level select, sorry, levels, level 1. Just so I don't forget this, let's set the current score to be 0 in each of these, so there's not anything weird happening in our game, and we'll do the same in our test level. There we go. An important lesson there on not making copies of a level when you've got test values in that level. But perfect, we now have our level select working the way we want.